ready, lads, because to be honest, once we start, it's just much easier. How have you cooked? So, lad, how are we, first of all?
Sweet, lad. I'm sweet, lad. Things are going well, you know what I mean? So I'm fucking shitting myself. So anyone watching, I'm shitting myself. But it's all good.
To be fair, like when Derek was here last time, I was also like proper crapping it, to say the least. But like I said, after about 2 minutes with Charlie, I was alright.
You just settle in, innit? It's like having a normal conversation.
Yeah, it's like we were saying when we spoke in JD Gyms. And we stood there for like 2 hours.
Yeah, literally, we just spoke, on the spot.
And then it was like, do you want to get off and go get food for a pizza?
Literally. We went to Pizza Hut.
Yeah. We just got cameras.
It's mad, lad. We were literally there for 2 hours on the same spot. Like people were looking at us, trying to use the fucking squat rack.
I actually done one set of squats. I just walked in, and she was like, I
don't even know what we were talking about, lad. There must be some deep shit, though.
It was like, I think it was about trauma.
Oh, I'm standard.
Yeah, standard. I'm sure we used a full box of tissues as well. So, first of all, what's been going on with your coaching?
So, lad, it's doing things. So, like, in terms of coaching and that, like, online, that's gonna come properly, like, down the line, you know, when I've got experience on the gym floor and stuff like that. But, like, in terms of the PTing, I'm out of, like, Raise the Bar Gym and Speak now. It's, like, down the motorway, so it's not too bad. And literally, like, signed up my first couple of clients, like, the other day.
Nice.
And then we're gonna kind of, like, try and build it up as I go, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's good. Like, obviously still working this other job at the same time, so it's going to be like a crossover period of, like, you know, like a lot of workload and trying to get kind of this going while I'm doing just a standard job. So it is going to be like a bit heavy, but it's kind of going to be worth it, you know what I mean, definitely. In the long run. And I've already got, like, kind of quite a few leads and people who are interested, like old schoolmates and stuff like that.
Nice.
So, like, I can't complain, you know what I mean? It's good.
Are you going to look to, like, try and do it in there? Because I've saw, like, pictures of Raise the Bar before and it's completely different to, like, what we're used to in terms of the environment. How are you going to make that work?
To be fair, like, it's going to be, like, obviously, like, there's plenty of, like, dumbbells and, like, I can do a lot of free weight stuff as well. And I think a lot of it, like, for people who aren't that experienced, just teaching them form as well. As if they get form with, like, free weight stuff and that, then you can just kind of, even if they weren't to stay on with me after the 6 or 8 weeks or whatever, they can use that going forward in their own, like, kind of gym or journey or whatever. And they do have, like, they're getting, like, new machines and stuff as well added in. They were actually, like, moving it around a bit when I was in on Friday doing, like, a consultation. So it's, like, kind of looking up. So I'm looking forward to just, like, getting in there with people. It's going to be, like, quite nerve-wracking kind of putting myself out there in terms of, like,
the one-to-one part, and like meeting new people.
Like new people that I don't really know, but, like, also putting my knowledge to test. You get me? Like, it's going to be a bit, like, full on, but it's like I need to get outside my comfort zone and just, like, go for it. But I'm looking forward to it. It's like I'd rather do something that, like, I'm actually passionate about, you know what I mean, than just get paid, like, to work. You're doing whatever. So yeah, I'm, like, looking forward to just, like, cracking on doing something I want to do.
Because it's been about, what, 2 years, something like that you've been wanting to do it?
Yeah, literally, like, I got, like, I was on Origin, so I paid for my course on Origin, like, paid it off over a few months, and then I was, like, doing it, but, like, I was doing, like, a little tiny bits, like, each week in that, and I was just, like, I kept woman and on, and, like, I do want to go into like being a PT. And it was all, like, this thing of, like, oh, there's so many PTs, so many coaches, like, is it going to be difficult for me to, like, get my feet kind of, like, you know, stable in the industry and stuff like that? But then I was like, to be honest, like, there's literally nothing else that, like, kind of grabs me, like, at all. So why would I want to, like, do something else, you know what I mean? Why would I want to try and, like, force something else that I know is, like, not for me? So yeah, that's why I was just like, you know what, I need to, like, crack on with this now. And then I was kind of, I made it a more serious goal to get it done, like, in my free time. And then that's when I was like, Kobe was a big, like, reason for that, actually. Like, he was like, bro, like, if you want to do this, like, you need to get it done, you know what I mean? So, like, shout out Kobe, innit? But yeah, so he was kind of on my case about, like, not on my case, like, just every day, like, da-da-da, but it was, like, kind of saying, oh, how have you been getting on with your course, like, this week or whatever. And then that helped me, like, get, he held me accountable in that. So I was, like, like, I've just got to keep doing it. And over time, even, like, I was asking for his help and stuff as well. So over time, it was just, like, getting it boxed. You know what I mean? And then I went in for me, he done my first practical assessment thing with me. Like, he was my client.
Yeah.
And then, like, it was so funny, though.
Is
like,
that technically cheating? I feel like that's cheating.
No, low-key, because, like, it was funny one time, I didn't hear, like, what the instructor said. And I forgot what it was. It was, like, something like, oh, we want to do it. Like, I go to a pressing movement now or something. I'm sitting there, like, on the wrong thing. And then he'd look at me like this, what? Like, trying not to fucking say anything because obviously the tutor's right there.
Yeah.
And he's like this. And I was like, oh, shit. But then it was all right because I seemed to, like, do fairly well in terms of, like, delivering it and stuff like that. And then on the next time, I was doing it with a complete randomer. And it was like, I didn't have, like, Kobe there to, like, kind of give me little tips or whatever, but I kind of felt a bit more comfortable because it was, like, it helped that it wasn't someone I knew. You know what I mean? And it wasn't, like, the pressure of them knowing me and, like, what, you know what I mean? Like, taking a piss after or whatever. So I was just like, yeah. It was sound, though. Like, once I'd got the practical boxed, I was like, right, we're in business now, you know what I mean? And then it was just trying to, like, post on socials and all that kind of stuff to continue the momentum. So, yeah, it's sound.
All I want to say is, though, why didn't you ask me?
I know.
Why? Hey.
Bro, I should have, to be honest. And Kobe's, like, the busiest person ever as well, lad.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. He's got about a minute free per week, lad.
I'm trying to get I feel like this is going to be just about Kobe now. Yeah. I'm trying to get, like, consultations with him at the minute. I'm like, lad, he's a busy chap, lad.
Yeah.
He's a busy guy, and I'm going to tell you every day, you're a busy yeah.
So what have you been like? Has he been helping like you with your, like, kind of coaching stuff and that?
Yeah, we haven't had as much time to be able to do it, obviously, because I've been focused on this more. But he has been giving me support. But as like a few people, I have started the online coaching for a couple of people, like free, what you're doing till Christmas time, and it's been going well. But he's been overseeing me on the app, so he can see everything that I'm doing. But we just haven't had time to catch up. Yeah, so that's kind of like
it's better though, because I seen the other day, like, you put on your story about, like, WhatsApp messages from people saying you're making progress and that, which is sick, lad. Like,
I just wanted it to leave it until Christmas time to do, like, pictures and comments and all stuff like that. But I thought because the lads are doing so well, and, like, some of them are, like, really buzzing with it. Like, they send their thoughts, just put it out there. Because I might get a few more people that want to come work with me.
Well, exactly. Yeah, like, especially, like, if you're starting, like, free or discounted or whatever, and then they're seeing the same results as someone who's, like a fully priced or, like, a higher price or whatever, it's like, you know what I mean? Why not? Type thing. And that's what I said to, like, a couple of, like, my old schoolmates as well. I was like, we're just going to figure out, like, your goals and stuff like that, and then we're just gonna, because I'm gonna do, like, a 1-on-2 session with them, because you feel more comfortable training together, and, like, using that as, like, friendly competition or whatever. But I honestly reckon once, like, the mindset's in the right place, they'll smash it, because both of them have been, like, wham before, and then one of them's got, like, 3 kids now, so it's like, you know what I mean? It was like, I've literally got a dad bod, like, but like, I think, like, it's just like, once a mindset, like, switches, it's like, you know what I mean, you're focused and you're in it. So that's kind of what I want to work on with a lot of people as well, is, like, the mindset thing, because it literally, like, makes a difference to everything else.
Yeah, because that's, like, what I'm like. That's in my Insta, I'm trying to say, like, I can't remember what it was, like, a fitness online coach, but also, like, a mindset one as well, like, trying to help people, like, become better mentally.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
to where we vibe. Get on.
No, literally though, like, because it literally is an addition to everything else in your life. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what it is, like, job, relationship, like, fitness levels. You know what I mean? And obviously, like, mental health goes without saying. But, like, the things that you're kind of striving for or whatever, like, it's all to do with, like, how kind of mentally strong you are, and, like, and it always baffles me, like, when people kind of see it as, like, a secondary like priority.
Yeah,
like, it's like not a
yeah.
priority, but your body is. It's like, hang on a minute, like your mind can literally change everything. You know what I mean? So I was saying that to like my girlfriend the other day as well. Like it is actually mad. Like people turn their nose up at like therapy or something because you think you've got to be like fucking like, I don't know, actually like fully depressed to go to therapy, or like something's got to be like majorly wrong.
Like I want a therapist, like a monthly thing, just so I've got someone else to talk to. Like I want to make it like a normal thing that I can go to someone like who's professional, talk to them, and be like, this is what's going on in my life, and they might be able to pick little things apart, but it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's a bit refreshing.
Yeah, 100%. And also you're getting things off your chest that you might not, obviously, like, you've got close mates, like, fortunately, and, like, same with me, who I can speak to and, like, kind of tell them whatever, you know what I mean? But a lot of people haven't. So it's, like, going to, like, a therapist, you can actually, like, just basically put it all on the table and be like, this is what I'm going through, you know what I mean? Whereas if you're not that close with someone, so imagine walking into work and just being like, talking about the deepest things ever. You'd be like, I was not really expecting that one, you know what I mean? Like, I was just trying to ask you about something.
Up, lad, go away.
That's what I mean. And you're there just about like nearly in tears. It's just like, it's funny though, because like when I speak to people and work and that, I work with like quite a few girls, just because like it's a store, so naturally like there's more like girls who work there.
Yeah.
And like I'll just have dead deep conversations with them, and like they'll just turn around and be like, oh, like we'll go off like a 15-minute tangent. And they'd be like, oh, fuck, like, we went kind of deep there. It's like, this is me with, like, most people. Because, like, it just naturally happens, you know what I mean? Like, even, like, my sister and that, like, we're both, like, very kind of, like, I don't know, what's the other word for deep like that?
Would you say you're just, like, an open book?
Yeah.
I like that.
We're just very vulnerable, like, and we just talk about everything. You know what I mean? So we went for food the other day, literally sat there in like a fucking burger place, talking about the maddest, like, childhood shit that we've been through together. And I was just like, oh, fuck me, like, this is kind of fucking heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Would you say, though, that's not you more or less being open, that's you being comfortable?
Yeah. I mean, you can tell straight away in which, like, when not to talk about certain things, you know what I mean? Like, there's certain, like, mates, like, who aren't as close to me or whatever, which I couldn't go to with, like, certain stuff, you know what I mean? I had got, like, go out and have a laugh with them, or, like, I don't know, whatever it is, fucking play Xbox or some shit, not that I do that anymore, but, like, you know what I mean? Just, like, random little stuff like that. But I couldn't, like, sit there and have, like, a really in-depth conversation with them. I think you can tell, like, if you can't have go for a meal with someone one-to-one, if you know you'd feel uncomfortable doing that, you'd probably feel uncomfortable talking about, like, different things, because there's certain people that you get, like, as great in a group environment, but you're not going to get on that well one-on-one, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's probably because, like, you need, like, other people around them to bounce off each other. So, like, me and you could go out for one of them chats and have a good time, but you could go out with someone else that we know that absolutely sounds, but they're not that type of person that vibes that way. So they might even be awkward around you, even though they might see an open kind of thing. Yeah,
that definitely. And also as well, like, I found, like, I can consider myself, like, fairly introverted, you know what I mean? I mean, gym and that's helped that, obviously, like, confidence-wise and stuff, but, like, you kind of want the other person to be, like, sometimes, like, lead things a bit as well when you're a bit introverted, because if you've got, like, two very introverted people, or, like, it's like conversation's not really going to go anywhere, you get me? Unless you're extremely comfortable with each other. Because I've got, like, mates who are the same, who, like, aren't that, like, extroverted, but, like, when we get together, you'd think that, like, we're the most chatty people ever. You know what I mean? But it's just literally, like you said, about how comfortable you are with someone.
It's just like having that chemistry and, like, the vibe with the people and stuff like that. Because, like, you could go to a random party that, and you could meet someone that's exactly like you, and you just vibe and get that chemistry with them, and you can just chat all night. But you could go with one of your boys and not have that type of vibe.
Yeah, it is mad. It's literally like mad, you just come across, like, randomers, and, like, you're just literally clicking. And it's like, fuck me. You know what I mean? Like, who would have thought type thing. people there that you don't know, like, at all. And it's like you go there and instantly you start to feel comfortable because like they're your kind of people, and you just kind of get along straight away. I think like it always helps in it. But that's kind of what like more introverted people need, like someone to kind of like fucking take them in a little bit. You know what I mean? Without getting like too deep, but like put them under your wing, like, you know what I mean? That's how it is.
Do you reckon, like, because obviously me and you were big on the gym and all that, and we both started in the past few years.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that's why like you've started the gym as well? And like I kind of like, actually I don't know, because when I started the gym I was for mental health. But I was a big extrovert. But since I've been going to the gym, I've become a big introvert.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah,
like, I definitely see that in you, though.
Yeah.
Because I think at first, like, when you were in the gym, like in JD and that, like you would talk to everyone, innit?
Yeah.
Like, and your sessions would probably be like 2.5 hours, I'm assuming.
Longer,
yeah. So you'd be there for like, you go there on a Saturday at like 11, you know what I mean? You fucking miss like 3-4 hours of your day or whatever. But to be honest, like, that is all part of the journey, you get me?
Yeah,
because it was mental health thing, like, it was like, not to sound like fucking corny and that, but you're working, you're fucking helping your brain at the same time you're working your body, you know what I mean? Like, so it's not always like hard going to the gym, fucking maximum intensity, like, don't talk to me. Because for a lot of people, they're there for the head, you get me?
Yeah.
So even if that's all it helps, even if you haven't built muscle in a fucking year, but you're going gym 3 times a week and you feel mentally better for it, then fucking do it. You know what I mean? I think that's definitely like something I'd say to a lot of people, like, just do something that lets you know it's kind of proven to yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that you can do something positive, and then you've got like a community as well, like the community aspect to like the gym and that, especially like earlier days in JD, just so good because everyone was just dead sound, got on, you know what I mean?
It was like a proper little community. Yeah, like everyone was just there all the time. You walked in, you could see at least 10 people that you knew. And you knew that if I go in, I'm safe. Go to the cables, one of the boys there. Go to the leg area, someone's there. Go to the free weight area, there's a couple of lads there. And you're like, oh, go ahead, someone come over and have a chat with me. Or go over and have a chat with someone else.
Honestly, literally, like, I went there, though, like, when was it? Like, last week or something. Earlier this week, I think, actually. I went there with, like, some lad who I met. Funny story, like, bit of a tangent, but I met him in, like, JD gyms, South Liverpool, because I was going to work there. And then, like, it was, like, they offered me the job in that. Yeah. So it was all good. And then kind of one of the people from Razor Bar, Phil, was like, oh, like, we kind of want you here. Like, we think you've got loads of potential and da-da-da. And I was like, you know what? Like, you know, commercial gyms can be quite difficult. Yeah. Like, it's one of them. So I was like, you know what? I'll try this gym instead. And the guy who's a manager at that gym was so sound about it. You like totally understood in that. But yeah, anyway, I met someone on like a first aid course there, and he works in the gym in town. So I went for a leg session with him earlier this week. And it was weird because I was so used to walking in that JD, knowing everyone. And then I was like, I feel like fucking I'm on my ones here. Like, I don't know anyone yet. Like, and maybe a couple of faces, but no one I've actually spoke to before. And I was like, fuck, I used to come here and not like be able to walk like fucking 10 meters without letting onto someone. You know what I mean?
Even that is true. So true.
You could never go to that gym if you were in a rush, like, there's no chance. Because like you'd feel like you can't just like see one of your fucking close mates and then like be like, oh yeah, I'm in a rush, like, see you later. Like, it'd be like, what's happening? You know what I mean? And then you talk about like some random shit 10 minutes later. You know what I mean? You were meant to be fucking like 3 sets deep, and you're just like asking each other, like, I don't know what, whatever, like the last night out or whatever it is. Like, it's just mad. Like, we walking in that gym used to be just like a little family, innit?
It was a social club.
It's actually
like family members in it, because like you could literally walk in. So say if I walked in on a random day or a Saturday walk and I could see you, could see Amy, see Chev, see Degger, see Luke Gaines, see Louis, and then like see Tom Williams, and then whoever else wants to jump on that. And like that's before I've got to the changes.
Yeah, literally though. I had to go out the changes, see 20 more heads like And it was like in tiers as well. It was like your close boys and the people you just let on to, you know what I mean? And then people you just like kind of passing by or whatever. But you always knew someone there, lad. And you always knew as well, like, you'd fucking, if anything kicked off, lad, you could be sound. Especially with like Moses and that, lad, bro.
Moses, lad.
Nobody's fucking with Moses, lad.
have you saw it as well, come to you, and obviously you, Tom, have you saw the picture of Moses with John Cena?
Oh, no, I haven't. I can't remember, but...
I think it was Derek. He said that it looks like John Cena's getting a picture with him. It's like Moses was stood, lad.
Yeah, lad, Moses the fucking unit, lad. Shout out Moses, so.
Yeah. Oh, lad. But we haven't actually touched over what you've put down, you know.
I know.
So, obviously, we've been talking about the gym and that, and we've been saying about getting people involved. Both want to become coaches and that.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to get people in for their mental health, to get them more comfortable, for them to be healthier. But why did you get into the gym? I feel like we've touched up about this, but like probably briefly, or probably like 2 years ago.
Yeah, so lad, it was like literally like similar to you, like a mental health thing. I wanted something that was gonna kind of just make me feel better about myself, really. You know what I mean? It was like just proper, like skinny kid with no confidence. When I say skinny, I don't mean like not built. I mean like fucking probably underweight. You get me?
Yeah.
Like just fucking absolutely like. So I wasn't confident with myself, like how I looked, but also it was like I couldn't really speak to anyone like properly unless I was close to them. I couldn't just like kind of have normal conversations with people I didn't really know. Like it was just obviously like my life went like atrocious. I had like good mates still even back then, you know what I mean? And I was going on like nights out and stuff, but that was like a different thing. It was all kind of, you know, deep inside, I knew I weren't like kind of confident in a lot of situations. So it was probably a lot of a confidence thing and definitely a mental health thing. And then over time, when I like started seeing results in that, you get like this like belief in yourself, but it's almost like you kind of like lying to yourself a little bit. Because if you look at your progress like over like 3 months, or mine at the start, like it wasn't like amazing, but I could see tiny little things in it, and it was like kind of just telling myself to carry on, you know what I mean? But then it just kind of compounds then over time. But yeah, I'd definitely say it was just like a mental health thing. And also me sharing dairy, like we made a pact at the start, because we all started like within the same week or 2 weeks, I think. And we said, like whoever quits first, like has got like a forfeit or something.
I remember that, I remember you telling me about that.
And like we'd still fucking all go in the gym to this day. And that was like, what, like 4 years ago? Don't even know how long it is. But we were just like, we look back now and it's like, to think that we thought we were going to have to like tell ourselves to not quit. But then at a point at the start, it was like trying to tell ourselves to have a rest day, you get me?
Yeah.
So it was like probably like half like unhealthy, because, you know, it was like we were kind of relying on it too much maybe, or like we had to go to the gym to feel good about ourselves, or and I think that's definitely what I've been able to do the last like say 18 months, is not like use it as much as kind of, I'm not relying on it as much, like, you know what I mean? I just go there as part of my life now, you know what I mean? And not like
that was your life.
And not like, oh, fucking gym, or like I'm fucking depressed, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, genuinely though, it was a bit like that. So it was like, oh, I'm just sitting at home, like, what can I be productive with? Like, it never felt like I could do anything to kind of make myself feel better, really. It wasn't like an everyday thing, like feeling like that, but it was definitely a problem I'd have if I was like having a rest day or whatever, and I was sat at home and like there was no footy on or whatever it is, and I was just like, oh, like what do you even do, like, you know what I mean? But now it's definitely kind of switched, and it's been like, it's just a part of what I do now and not like everything, because I think it's a lot more healthy that way, and not having to like rely on it to like keep you fucking sane, you get me? So yeah, I think I've like nailed it a little bit. There's still a kind of work to do, you get me? But I'm like happy with where I'm at with it. So. Yeah,
because like I got to that stage quite quickly, because I remember there was a period of time where I wrote like my own training program, where I was like that deep into going to the gym. that I had a 7-day working out program, and I'd done that for about 2 months. Every single day I worked out every day, but it's hard to space different body parts out, so there was enough rest time in between, like 48 hours.
Yeah.
So it was working for me, but that's because I couldn't sit at home, because the reason why I went, I didn't want that to come back.
Yeah.
And like I thought, if I go home and I just sit there and like play the game, watch a film, whatever, I'm not going to be able to do anything with myself.
Yeah.
I have to be here.
So you know, like for you, like what was it like just all mental health, like?
Yeah, all of it.
So is it like, even if you're occupied playing a game or something, did you know in your head, like, I'm not happy here, like, or I just feel dead unfulfilled or something like that?
As in when I was still going to the gym and I had the rest day, or before I started?
But before you started, yeah.
So before I started, mine was more like a slow period that kind of built up quite quickly.
Yeah.
So mine was more like, I'm feeling quite tired every day going to work. I'm not feeling happy right now. But like that was me just thinking, I'm working night shifts. I'm just going to a job I don't like. And then as time got on, I started feeling worse and worse. So I kind of looked it up a little bit. And I was saying, like, it could be a mental health issue. Yeah. So I was like, okay, like, I don't really expect me to have that.
You kind of battered it off. It's mad, isn't it?
But this was like during COVID as well. So everyone was off work. But we started to go to work. Was you still there? In the warehouse?
In the warehouse, yeah.
So we still had to go and work. So in my head,
that
I was like,
horrible though, innit? Well, I was waking up at like fucking, 5 bells or something. And it's like, fucking Julie was sat there on a fucking sun lounger at midday. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there picking product off shelves. Like, I was just like, no way. And they're all getting paid as well because they're on furlough. And I was just like, nah, this is not the life, surely.
It was horrible, but I feel like that was starting to get to me then. And I knew that like I was kind of wanting to go down the path of the YouTube, so I started the Call of Duty and Fortnite and FIFA and stuff, and then like I've done a stream. So I was like, this is going, because that wasn't going well, I feel like I kind of dampened myself even more. But then like I just started spiraling more and more to the point I was like, I can't do anything. So I was off work for ages. And then I thought, I need to do something about myself here, you know. I need to just get into the zone and then start basically putting my arse into gear. I found out that Sean, he had like dumbbells and he had like a bar. And he had like these wrist weighted straps, wherever they were. I could add more weight on. So I just thought, you know what, I'm going to start working out or something. So I started working out. And I thought, this feels alright, this. And then I started going on walks with like Luke Roberts, James Douglas, and we just go walk around Newton. We'd go walk around Crocky Park loads.
I remember. You went like major, like, we went like 10-mile walks and that or some shit.
I think the most we'd done was like, I'll try and get it off on my phone, like, but the most we'd done that was like a 15-mile walk or something like that. It's probably not even going to load up.
Probably on like a random Wednesday or something as well.
But like, we would go out walking. It's not even on there anymore. Like, we'll go out walking from like 1 in the afternoon and get home about 7.
What?
We'll just get up and just walk. We'll walk through Tube Route, we'll walk through West Derby, we'll walk through Crocky, we'll go to Newsham. I can't really picture where else we ended up going. We ended up... they were like the main places that we went because it was all kind of like mutual areas. But that's all I done. Walked, felt good for it. Then got into a bit more, got an Apple Watch. Started counting my steps. Thought, you know, I'm going to watch my food. And it just... mad. Like slowly picked up to the point where like I feel great. I can't sit still anymore. I don't want to touch the game. I don't want to do anything. I just want to work out. I want to be fit. I want to be healthy. And then I just thought I want to go to the gym. James and Luke were like, well, we go, JD, come with us. And because I was in work, I could go with them whatever time they were free. So I just started with there. And then
it's like a wheel, isn't it? Like the fact like all it took was like you to start going on walks and stuff like that and doing literally like a bit of dumbbell work, like here or whatever. You know what I mean? And then it was like that led on to walking, that led on to like eating differently, and then gym and that. Like, it's just mad how it works, isn't it?
Then I got to the point I'm on YouTube like watching like C-Bum like before I go to the gym, like scan like
no, literally though.
Shave me beer, get a muzzy.
whatever fucking day, if it's like a chest day, you're like fucking C-Bum chest day on your laptop, lad. You sit there with your fucking lad, everyone's the same.
Lad, I still do it to this day.
Fully. promise you right now, anyone listening, and you go to gym like religiously, like you do that. I know you do. Like you watch whatever you're doing that day. You're like fucking typing in Scotty leg day, Ronnie Coleman leg day or some shit like that. I remember you were doing like some. Whose leg day did you do?
The Rocks.
Yeah, and it was about fucking 20 sets of like leg extensions.
That was long. I think I can try and find that, but that was a long day.
Yeah,
probably still got the video somewhere as well. But like, that was
you did it once. You were like, nah, this is not me. This.
Yeah. But no, I thought about making content about like just different celebrity workouts and giving them a go. And I thought, do you know what? Probably not, because that video didn't do too well. And now as you see in TikTok, because people are doing like Sam Sulek's workouts and like Seabum's back workout, and like, I could have been the fucking OG. That could have been me.
You could have been that guy.
But I thought, it's within JD gyms, and these are going on like proper aesthetically pleasing gyms with all proper good angles and boss equipment. And I'm like, lad, have you got any room on the leg extension there, lad? And they said you got 20, but I'm doing single leg, lad, doing unilateral.
I find it mad the way like people are confident enough to do mic'd up sessions. I know you done a couple, innit?
The which?
Mic'd up sessions.
Yeah.
Lad, I just find it like, because obviously you're gonna have people looking at you like he's talking to himself there, like what's going on there.
It is weird.
Especially if it's just not like normal people who like don't see content. They're thinking, wow, this is mad. My man's commentating as fucking. It's like, imagine like, even like, I've seen on like reels and that, like mic'd up footy. And people are like literally like, oh, Meg, and like taking a piss out of each other and that. And you're like, fuck me, like the content world is crazy.
I remember I wanted to put a GoPro on me head for footy, or on my chest or something like that.
That would have been sick,
playing Nana Shah, like taking Tom Kelly out with a slardy. But lad, I think content creation, bosh. Like, I love it. I just wish that there was more people to do it with, kind of thing. Because like you've done your own content, but that's just recording your sets. So I always try and like up it one more, but I never do it long enough. That's the only issue with it.
And to be fair, like I want to up my content game, like especially because there's like a few people, like coaches and that, who the content are just nailed. Like they get people in to record them like professionally and that, and then just make boss like well produced reels and stuff. So that's definitely like an end goal, you know what I mean, to get to that point. But then again, it's like building that confidence up to that next level to be able to like go in, literally have like 50 topics to talk about and just be able to nail them like one off after the other, which is obviously like a whole different ball game. But like, content is fucking sound like Gary Vee, innit? But like content is actually like, and will be for a while, like the thing that, like, you know what I mean, it's not going anywhere. Soon there'll be fucking, you know, what's it called, like AI and that. We're gonna be like fucking making content, just like we put it in something in our eye, and then it's like recording what's in front of us and that. That's what it would be like. Just a POV, like no cameras, you just put something in your eyeball.
Isn't that like Black Mirror? Something like that.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah.
I've only seen Black Mirror?
I've seen a few episodes out, but one of them sent me out like badly, and I was like, oh, I don't know about this. And I watched it like fucking 9 bells at night, and I go to sleep at like 10 or something, and I was like, nah, I can't do this. Without nightmares and that.
But no, what you saying about content as well, like where you want to do it. There's a thing that you said is how confidence and motivation comes from action. So like if you want that confidence and motivation, do you reckon you've got to start doing that even on a smaller level?
Well, that's it, lad. Like even like this today, lad, like this is massively outside of my comfort zone, you get me? And like, but I thought like obviously we always have good conversations, and it's like we can relate to each other on a lot of shit. So can you swear on this, by the way?
I mean, we've already sworn enough, so
okay,
we'll try and minimise it if we can. But
now I'm thinking about it, I'll just sound weird, innit? Trying to use different words and that.
Well, just to start saying like fudge.
What was he even saying now, man?
So we were talking about you and
the confidence
action.
So even stuff like this, honestly, like little things are trying to build it up, you know what I mean? Like trying to improve my content in the gym as well, and talking to a camera like at home, like doing little videos and that. that's really hard. You know, if you've not got someone else with you or talking, like you're not talking to someone else.
I know about all this, lad. Talk to me, lads.
Honestly, like just talking straight up to a camera, like the lens in your face, I just start like stuttering. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then, but I was speaking to someone and he was saying how they do it is like either not fully scripted, but just have like a bunch of notes, say like, you know, about whatever you're talking about and kind of go through them. And you can cut it, like edit it loads afterwards. You don't have to talk for 3 minutes straight about something and not make one little mistake. You can just go like 30 seconds, like bang, start again. You know what I mean? Again and again, rather than like, because at home, like sometimes I'll be like trying to talk about something. I'll do like, I know it's going to take me like 2 minutes. I'll get to like 1 minute 45. I'm near the end of the fucking like little reel clip or whatever. And I'll fuck something up.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh fuck, I've got to go again now.
Yeah.
Rather than just like cut it and like put the end in and stuff like that. But they're all like just little things that I need to like learn as I go. You get me?
Because do you remember on my Insta, it's still one of my pinned things where I was like 10 ways to improve your mental health.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That was a big one.
Yeah, all I had, lad, was just the 10 topics. But because I knew what to go to next, I knew I could either ramble on about it because it didn't matter what direction I took it as long as I knew what I was talking about. But you just do that, you just record it and then you can edit it and you can snip it.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So that's
rather than
way
just
to go
doing
about
like, rather than just doing like the 10 at once type thing. Yeah.
So like this lad, like I'll always come to you and say, give me a few topics. We don't have to have questions, just the topic.
Yeah.
And then you just flow like that.
And then it's one of them as well. It's not just like, oh, you ask one question, next one. Like you know what I mean? It's not like an interview thing. It's just like it naturally flows, especially like if you know the person.
Yeah. It just gives yourself like that baseline that you know there's a little bit of structure to a conversation or to a video that you're going to record.
Yeah.
And then you just go from there. Because if you don't, and I've done it before, like you do just ramble on and you might repeat yourself a couple of times or whatever, and then you look back and think, why have I said that like 6 times? Yeah. Makes no sense.
Yeah, and you'll go like proper like left wing and talk about the maddest shit, like just proper unfiltered shit, you know what I mean?
Sorry lad, I'm just having a rant. I need to get off your system.
Fucking crying in that on the podcast, lad.
Yeah, but like how far do you see yourself taking the coaching then? Because obviously you were saying about you would like the goal to be to make like them professional clips or them real TikToks, whatever.
To be fair, that's not even that far down the line.
It's
like,
not?
You know what I mean? Like, it can literally be a few months if I want it to be.
Yeah.
Like, if the PT business does well, I can invest more back into the business, like equipment, whatever. Like, then that's when it can start. You get me?
Yeah.
But in terms of how far I want to take it, like, there's no limit. You get me? Like, it's I want to take it as far as I can take it without it becoming like my whole life or like without me being like a workaholic. And to be honest, I think there might even be a period of me being like a workaholic in a sense of like working more than I've ever worked before and like you know, like not having weekends and shit like that. Like I think that's going to be necessary if I want to do well, obviously. But I think I'll know like in my head when I've took it too far. When it's like affecting different aspects of my life outside of it, you know what I mean? And it's like where I want everything, like just going fucking, imagine like going for a meal with your bed or something, you just like whip a camera out, it's like, oh, macros. You know what I mean? Like,
don't eat that, that's too much beef in there. You're gonna go over the protein level.
Protein sources and all that, like,
how much fat in that chip? Did you cook this in olive oil?
That's what I mean, like, literally, like, you will get to a point where it's just like, maybe it's a bit too much. So I think I'll know that, you know what I mean? But yeah, I just want to, after it'll be like the PTing for a while, like honestly, it depends on how much I enjoy it as well. Like if I'm absolutely loving the one-to-one PTs like in person, I won't be like in no rush to go online or nothing like that. Obviously, like it's an extra income and stuff like that outside of when I'm in the gym. And it won't be so much like trading time for money, you know what I mean? Which is like a big thing that I kind of want to look more into in the future, rather than like, oh, doing this many hours of this is going to get you this much money. It's like kind of making money in different ways and that. But I think like if I really enjoy it, I'm going to try and, you know, do it for a long time. And then it'll like slowly move to online or do like a hybrid situation.
Yeah.
I know a lot of coaches do the hybrid thing because it's like they still like the aspect of, you know, one-to-one and actually like speaking to the person, you know, in person and kind of the emotional side of it as well.
Yeah, it's got to be emotional as well.
Yeah. I think obviously you can ask questions on your check-ins and that online, but they might not be as open. I don't know, but like they might not be as open kind of typing on the laptop or the phone or a voice note or whatever than they would be in person because they don't feel like they can be as vulnerable, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like when I do my client check-ins, I give them a questionnaire as well. But one of them's like, how do you feel physically? But then the next one is, how do you feel mentally? And stuff like that. And sometimes you might get like, I've had a bit of a rough week or whatever, but mainly it is, I'm fine, I'm good. I don't want to push it too much, but I do want it to be a point where I'm like, no, tell me right now what's going on with you. Have you got any wins of the week? I haven't got any. No, tell me one win of this week that's going to make you feel good. I've got none. You have to.
No. I know, like, Kobe used to do the same thing with me. Like, it would just be like, well, what do you mean you've got no wins? And you'd be like, oh, like, it's like a Sunday night, like, you're just like in a bad mood or something. You're like, oh, I fucking not done nothing, like, leave me alone. You know what I mean? But like, no, definitely, like, and that's the thing as well, like, you have got to dig. You've got to dig to get things out of people, bro, like, especially if they're not that close to you. And it's just like a new client or whatever. You kind of got to get in the head and really, like, know the pressure points and, like, what are the actual reasons you're doing it. Like, are you really doing it just to get fucking bigger arms and look a bit wham, you know what I mean? Like, is that really the reason, though? And like 99% of the time it isn't. Like, there's something deeper. And I think that's what I can kind of excel on a little bit over other people is like the emotional side and the mental side of things. Like, you're the same yourself, like making people, like, get them to be vulnerable and that, you know what I mean? Because I think because we are with other people and like ourselves or whatever, it means that they're more comfortable doing it, you know what I mean? Whereas if you're very just like, it's all logic and all like work and da-da-da and like, you gotta do this and that and like very like military type fucking like style of coaching or whatever, it's like, is the person gonna kind of be able to trust you or like follow that kind of style, you know what I mean? So I think kind of it's going to be, a lot of my stuff is going to be aimed at people who kind of know they've got stuff going on or like they're not entirely like thriving or whatever, and just get them to a point where they feel better about themselves. And obviously they're making progress in the gym and whatnot, which, like we said before, just compounds over time. Like, as soon as you're making progress and like gains and that, you just start to feel like more confident anyway. So like, that's going to be the plan.
What sounds like is what you're doing. What I'm trying to do is more, instead of I'm going to get you lean, I'm going to get you big, I'm going to get you wham. It's like, I'm going to get you a better self-development and like make you a better person, and that's going to be physically and mentally. Because 100%. Of like where we've both said, we've both been through shit, and we've both started in the gym, and we both know that the detrimental impacts that it has of not being there, but also the positive impacts that it does have being there. And we've basically rolled that wave for them. And obviously loads of coaches have, because obviously that's why the coaches, they're experienced. But I feel like a lot of them only look at, you're coming in, you're getting these results, and we can throw your pictures up kind of thing. And we've done great together. Next client, please. It's like, testimonials or whatever, and you got your before and afters, and then it's like, next one. And I think like that's, you've got to like change that approach a bit, innit? And also like, I've spoke to like a few PTs and that, and they've said like they build relationships with clients, and they, like, you might train them for like, I don't know, a few months or whatever, and you might be like in boss shape and they know literally everything like perfectly, form, whatever. Like, they know all they need to know, but they just stay on to have that like support there, you know what I mean? And like to have them as their like kind of friend who's pushing them or who's, you know, kind of helping them out mentally or whatever it is, like emotional support, all that kind of stuff. They just kind of stay on for like literally years and years with a PT,
because obviously after that point, the PT's kind of said everything that he can do. You know what I mean? But they're kind of there just to have that support out, because he could have like all kinds going on in their life. You get me?
Yeah, because like the way I look at that from my own perspective is that how much going to the gym, and it's not about going to the gym and getting leaner or getting stronger or getting whatever goal it was. Mine was always how much self-confidence it's now giving me.
Yeah,
to the point where I thought, have I now got an ego? But then I realised, no, I'm just confident in myself now.
Yeah,
like I can feel like I'm walking somewhere and stand up tall and all that. And like I feel like since going to the gym, I've obviously been there. I've then gone to the gym, left that job that I hated. I feel like if I didn't go to the gym, I would have just stayed in the comfort zone.
Yeah, 100%.
Went to a job that I now enjoy. Met someone I love, moved out, got a car, which was a big thing for me, because I thought I'll never drive.
Yeah, I thought the same, yeah.
Got this, started the podcast, got a dog yesterday, and like all that for me stems from walking through them doors on that day.
Literally, like,
and just like, I'm here to make myself better because I want to become the person that I think I can potentially come.
Yeah, it's actually mad how it compounds, innit? Like, and I was saying as well, I was listening to like a podcast in work. So in my job, because it's like kind of not like, everyone's sounding that like it's not the worst job in the world, do you know what I mean? Everyone's sounding stuff, but like a lot of the time I'll just put like a podcast in while I'm working or whatever. And it was like this girl, I think her name's like Cody Sanchez or something. She's like some like proper rich woman, but like she was talking about relationships and like what you were saying there about like finding someone and stuff like that. Like even them kind of things, and it's like, you know, like dating apps and that, like people are going out their way to look for a partner, but the best way to find a partner is work on yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like do what you can for yourself, and, you know, kind of just better yourself as much as you can, and it will literally just appear. It just happens.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Just randomly out the blue, like you'd never expect it, and it just kind of changes. Like if you change your perspective on that, and not like, oh, I'm like so, you know, not like a victim mentality, or like I'm unlovable, or like you went through a breakup, like someone's like fuck you off or whatever. You know, I've been through that where like someone like you get broken up with, and then your confidence is just like fucking like through the floor, and you're just like, oh, I'm not going to be able to find someone who like actually appreciates me, or like there's something that I'm not kind of doing right, or you know what I mean? You just don't feel like you've kind of got it in you to keep a healthy relationship or whatever it is. But if you carry on like working on yourself and doing things for yourself, they just kind of come along, you know what I mean? Like it's mad, it's just the way life works. And I found that as well, like that's why we're talking about like the positive things compounding, but the negative can do that just as badly, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it can do.
Yeah, because as soon as say you go through a breakup, it's like, rather than like, I know, kind of being like, oh, let's kind of try and flip it around, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna chill at home more, like I'm just gonna spend more time like on my own, not doing much, or like going on a game or watching series or like binge eating and all that stuff. Like that is soon just gonna like
it catches up, lad.
Yeah,
catches up and faster than what you think it does. As well.
It just gets you, it just grabs you, and then mentally as well, you just feel so like kind of a bit like numb and a bit like, oh fuck, I don't know what to do here. And I think that was a big thing. Like we're going a bit on a tangent here, but when I was like everyone says the word depressed in it, but like that's what it is. So when I was like going through that, it's like a numb feeling. It's so weird. It's like nothing it can like make you, or you get like brief moments to bring you up, but your like base level is so low. And that's how I can describe it. Like there's things that can bring you up like throughout your day, but you're back down to your base level.
Yeah.
And when your base level is like at the bottom, it's like the worst, because you know it's always gonna drop back down to that. You know what I mean? But if you kind of can bring that base level up, you're gonna go through shit, you're gonna go through good things. But if your base level on a general day-to-day basis is good, then you're in a good position, you know what I mean? And you're not always kind of thinking, oh, after this, I'm going to be at home and I'm like, oh, I'm going to feel shit about myself and this and that. And like, that's like a big thing. One, it's like having the right people around you, community, family, friends, whatever, partner, like all of that stuff can help. But like doing things for yourself as well on your own is massive.
Yeah.
100%.
So, because like if we take that right back and then try and sum it up, where you were saying about like the dating and stuff like that, or if you have a breakup and then you feel like proper shitty about yourself, it's like if you forget about them dating or you go out, like if a lad goes out to try and find a bird or whatever, you're going out trying to basically grab someone. But if you come into that self-development and you come into that world where it's all about you in a sense for that period of time, that you start shaping yourself into the person that people go out looking for. Instead of you trying to do the chase, you become the chased person. And that goes for the lads and girls.
And exactly. Like you're attracting people who you were trying to go out your way for as well. But also, like, I think it's like really important to, like, I think when you go out looking for something, I could be wrong, but when you go out looking for someone or whatever, like, they don't always tend to be the right person for you. You just kind of go there so you don't feel lonely or whatever. But where if someone comes to you, there's more chance of it being the right person. Like, you know what I mean? Once you've got that connection, because they're attracted to the things that you're doing now in your self-development phase. Whereas if you've got someone who's like attracted to you in your like time of bad habits or whatever, you're drinking, smoking, doing whatever the fuck, it's like, well, when I'm actually doing well for myself, they're not going to like that anymore. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to like the person who I was then because I've changed so much. But if you're in the position where, you know, you're doing all this for yourself and then they like it in that moment, when they're with you, they're going to, like, the relationship's going to thrive because, you know what I mean? They're still attracted to that same person.
Do you reckon that applies to friends as well?
Yeah, 400%. Like, yeah, 100%. Like, it's... I think, to be honest, like, I haven't really, like, lost any friends or whatever. I mean, I think, like, you naturally distance from people, innit? Because you've got, like, your own shit going on. But, like, yeah, the people that you actually, you know, deep inside that you want in your life and you value and stuff, you know, for the right reasons, like, they'll always kind of stick around. But definitely, I think with the friendship thing, people, like, if you're trying to do better for yourself and they're like stuck in the same bad habits or whatever, like, they feel a bit like, oh, like, who's he think he is, or
too good for us and stuff like that. Doesn't, you know, like us anymore. But
you know what though, like, that's kind of like happened to me in the past as well, where I'm like, oh, fuck me, like, so and so is like smashing it now, like, he's just growing away from us, and like, and it's like, well, that's what he should be doing. You know what I mean? But at the time, you kind of feel a bit like, oh, sorry about you, like, you know what I mean, like, but and then later on, when you kind of go through that journey yourself, because you know you have to, it's like, makes a lot of sense. Like, it's, you know, like, that person's right to do that. So yeah, I definitely think, like, if you're someone who's kind of going through that transition period and stuff like that, and obviously some people are like more intense than others, but like, you've just kind of got to believe in what you're doing is the right thing, and not let them kind of pull you back into the group.
Yeah, because like, when I first started, like, my self-development and then trying to build the life that I want, I felt like everyone kind of turned their back on me for a small period, and like, I've kind of took that to heart. But I remember having a chat with my dad, because I was a little bit down about it, and he was like, it's not that you've lost friends, you just got to realise that you've got friends for certain things.
That's so true, you know.
So you've got like a social group for going out and having a bevy or going for food, but you've got like these friends that just like to game, and like, if you realise that they're people that I spend time with in the gym, I wouldn't go out more than like for like a scram with them or go to the pitches with them. But people that I'd like to game with, I wouldn't go out for a bevy with them. I thought, because I was always going out or always just seeing these type of friends or always just gaming with them, and I stopped doing that. I thought they didn't like me anymore, but I realised that now that's the type of friend that they are. We always speak, or we can always still chat, or if they need me or I need them, as long as we know we're going to come back together when someone needs a hand or someone just wants to catch up, and you go, yeah, let's do it. Then that's like what, in my eyes, that's what like friends are now at this age. So like Derek, I used to see him every single day. And then we started slowly drifting apart, and that's not because we weren't as much friends anymore.
Yeah.
But that was because he had shit to do, and I had shit to do.
Yeah.
And his shit was different to my shit. But we both knew that, and there's like loads of friends like that.
Yeah, like I've got people I don't see for like months and months, like maybe even like a year plus. And then like when you see them again, it's like you haven't even been apart for a day, you know what I mean? Like
me and Derek had that a few years ago in a park.
But that's when you know like it's a good mate, like, because if you two click, you know what I mean? Like straight away you just kind of back to your base level like friendship. You know what I mean?
Like us before when you got out the car when we said we can't remember the last time we saw each other.
Like months, yeah.
But as soon as you get out, it's just like, I saw you a couple of days ago.
And
that's where it's like, it's good, because then you know that you're both adults, you're both mature, and you both like give off that kind of respect that you're doing your stuff, I'm doing my stuff. We've got to link up, let's do it.
And I think as well, like even like with Insta and text and all that stuff, like I'm like not always like the past like say year or whatever, I'm not the best like replier to messages or texts and stuff like that.
Never.
But I like when people are like kind of, they understand it and they don't think like I've got a problem with them. You know what I mean? Because I'm like doing my own thing or I'm busy or whatever. It's never gonna be a situation where like in person like anything's different or whatever. But like you just gotta have like understanding about each other, innit? But I think definitely as well, you've kind of got to know where the line is with different people, or like you've got to self-observe as well. It's like if someone's upset about something, you've got to be like, hang on a minute, like if I put myself in their shoes, would it bother me? And like if it's a yeah, then you've got to try and, you know, change your behaviour and attitude a bit. So like if I look at something and I'm like, oh, I wouldn't really be like that bothered about it, I'd still like kind of like, I don't know, apologise for it or stuff like that and say like, I understand where you're coming from, but I wouldn't really like kind of over observe it, you know what I mean? I'd just be like, we're different people type thing.
Yeah, and that does make a lot of sense. To say, I don't even know what to say. Like, I think mine come down to a lot of routine. That I got myself into a routine so much that I never found time to fit people in. That kind of thing. And I feel like people might have took that the wrong way. But it is one of them, like, as long as you know that you're both sound with each other, then we're still sound, aren't we, Darren? Yeah.
He says when he was like looking at me like fronting eyes.
I could see like his fist clenched underneath the table, like stop bringing me into this, like absolutely sound, lads, yeah. But I feel like we've rambled on loads about our friends and that day today. But what I was gonna say was routines and that was it. So like about routines and that, I know that you're quite big on them. As well, because I'm trying to switch up the conversation a little bit. Sorry, I'm still trying to get used to all this podcast and stuff. But like with your routines and that, how do you like approach them?
To be honest, like it depends kind of what my day looks like, because of this job. It's not just like a certain like set days or hours or whatever. It's like you get given like a schedule of like days that you're in and stuff like that. But it's just like kind of usually wake up at like the same time even when I'm off, because then when I'm in work I'm not like knackered, you get me? So I usually like when I'm in work, a lot of the time it's like 7 in the morning, so I'm up at like, I don't know, 20 to 6 or something like that. So when I'm off I'll try to get up at like not 20 to 6 but like 6:30 or something, you know what I mean, 7, something like that, because otherwise like, you know what I mean, circadian rhythm just totally out of whack, and then it's like I've just got no sleep and I'm just not a good person, and like, you know what I mean. That's why it's mad, like, because I find it like people tell me, like I get like 3 hours sleep every night. So I'm like, how are you even like
functioning?
Yeah. But like, how are you still like an actual like sound person? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you know what? Yeah, because I'm a crank. I'm a crank.
If I got like 3 hours sleep every day, like that'd just be like horrible. You know what I mean? Like it makes such a difference when I'm like kind of either caffeinated or like, you know what I mean, I've got like a good amount of kip in me. But yeah, to be fair, as long as I know I can get like the non-negotiables in, you know what I mean? I'm always trying to get like enough sleep and stuff. I'm prioritizing it more now. Doesn't always go to plan, but it's definitely better than it was. And then it's gonna be just like, what kind of do I want to? What's a priority in a day? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm seeing my mates, I'm seeing my girlfriend, whatever as well. Like that kind of comes afterwards, after kind of the work's done, and then it's like, have I got to make some content? Like, what time am I in work till? What time could I go to the gym? Like, and I just kind of like set it out, and as long as I know I'm doing it in like a kind of the certain time period, like I haven't really started diarying a whole lot yet, but I think I'm gonna do that because there's like a lot of benefits to it. Whereas like I'm setting a time for certain things, because I think if you don't do that, you can easily just put them off for the next day and the next day and the next day. So if I'm like, oh, this time on this day after gym or after work or whatever, I'm gonna like spend an hour like planning content, or spend an hour recording content or something like that, or reaching out to people on Insta for like PC sessions, and you know what I mean. So I'm definitely kind of like trying to get better with that. But yeah, the main kind of things of like my routine is like, yeah, enough sleep, make sure I'm getting gym like 4 or 5 times a week, and then making sure that like I see my girlfriend enough, and like just different stuff like that. It's not like crazy right now, but I think as the whole business thing picks up, and like because I'm working like for myself technically, it's like it's going to be a lot more strict, and like I've got to do this at this time, and otherwise it doesn't get done. I mean, but what about you anyway? Like, do you have like set things
in terms of like my routine day to day? So if I done like a normal working day, then obviously I'd work from 8:30 till 4, gym in the evening, and that it's going to change up now. Obviously we're getting the dog. Little tiny fairball, that big lad has like changed my life.
Literally though, it does though. Yeah.
But I do like to do it, so like I'm now trying to get into the habit of doing like to-do lists. So when I go to work, I've got like a to-do list, and it could be 4 or 5 things that day that I know I've got to do anyway, but just writing it down and getting me into the habit. With the podcasts, I'm trying to write them down and put them down on my phone, put them down in a book. Get more used to writing things down like that. So then I always kind of keep in that routine of go to work, go to the gym, weekends. Okay, what have I got to do weekends? I've got a podcast at 2 till 5. That's that slot. And then could be every night at 8 o'clock, client check-ins till 8:30 till 9. Something like that. Sunday mornings, client questionnaire check-ins, like a proper one. Feedback. So I always try and do bits and bobs of everything. But it could be like schedule time in properly for a gaming session, so I can just turn off and all that, and I want that to be like you need like that escape.
I think if you don't put that in, it's like, oh, that wasn't really going to benefit me, so like I'm not going to do it. Like, you know what I mean? You tend to like put off things that are actually good for you. You know what I mean? If you're kind of in this kind of phase of trying to build something up. But I think a lot of people kind of just forget about like the actual like good, exciting, entertaining things in life. You know what I mean? If they're trying in this period, it's like you've got to make time for it as well. But yeah, I like that, like setting time aside for like kind of like things that don't actually do nothing, like in terms of like they don't have to be productive, you know what I mean? You don't have to be fucking going towards something, you're just fucking trying to have like a life, you know what I mean?
That's it, like
outside of what you're trying to do. Yeah,
because like obviously you're going to exercise, and whatever that is, you need rest time in between, or you need a few rest days. It's the same mentally, because if you try and smash it, you burn out. So like I've been happy this month because Assassin's Creed's come out, Spider-Man's come out, Gen V spin-off of The Boys has come out. So I'm just like, there's my downtime. I know what I'm short of like this month. Kind of thing, more for the future part of it. But I realised that if I don't do that, I find myself like working with so much pressure that I've got to be productive. And then I try and fill this empty space where I don't know. What do we do? But I've got to do something.
And I think that's the thing as well. Like, I don't want anyone on it, like watching or whatever, to think that like like I've got anything like perfectly like set up and life's just like fucking by the hour, you know what I mean? And like
you have though. He seriously has. Like he's got it fully set up. He's got $1 million in his bank. He's got a Bentley outside.
Yeah, oh yeah, don't worry about it.
Still me a father.
What about that fucking Domino's?
Yeah, paving pizza a lot.
But yeah, like it's not one of them things that all I care about is self-development or gym and you know what I mean? It's like just adding little things like into my life to kind of like improve it and help where I'm trying to go with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rather than going like absolutely like balls to the wall, like I've got like 7 hours free a day and that's to sleep. You know what I mean? Like that just wouldn't work with me. Like maybe down the line, like, I don't know, I might just be that like mentally resilient, but I know like I need like the downtime and like, I need to like balance it. But another thing that like people kind of talk about is like balance, and that like you're gonna have less of it when you're trying to do something big or something for your life or whatever. So it's like you can't always have that. Like I'm kind of trying to accept to myself that while I'm doing these two things at once, like balance will still be there to an extent, but not as much as it was, because it's just a period of time.
Yeah.
Where like if you've got like a lack of balance, like always, like 365 days a year, like you're kind of fucked. But if you've got it in periods, like say 3 months of like a quite unbalanced life and you've got a lot of work on it, it's okay because you're doing it for a reason and there's like a result at the end of it. And it's a bit more healthy looking at it that way, you know what I mean?
That's in a sense like the entrepreneurship side of it, or like a self-employed, because you don't know what the balance is going to look like, because if you're trying to build something, things will come up last minute. So you can't balance it. Like it's gonna just turn up and you could be like planning a nice night with your girlfriend or whatever. Yeah. And whatever it is that comes in, you might have a business opportunity that comes in and go, I need to go and do this. Yeah. So I think it's finding the balance, which you are 100% right on, but then also accepting that there will be times that there's no balance at all and you have to just do things.
You just have to like have the fucking grind in it and like, you know what I mean? I don't know, like it's hard, innit? Because sometimes I watch videos and it's like these people who are like talking to the camera and they're just like, oh, like about grit and like they just talk about like how much they work and like that's just their whole life and that. And it's like, fuck me, like you must be fun to have a conversation with. You know what I mean? But like at the same time, like there's a lot of like truth to it, but in periods and not just like fucking going crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like, do you ever see videos of people where they're like, oh yeah, so you got to get up at 4:30 in the morning and you've got to go and do an hour and a half of work.
And you've got to eat steak and eggs for breakfast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And you can't look at your phone for 6 days after you wake up. And you can't talk to someone for 3 months after you do that. Yeah. And it's like, but that's how you're successful. And like, I used to watch all these videos and try and take like snippets of them and like try and find out how it works. But then I found one, someone was like, if you want to wake up and go in the game for a bit, and that wakes your brain up for a productive day, then go in the game for a bit. I saw a video the other day. I still can't remember the fella's name, but he's like, so I'll ask you maths questions now, but they're not hard. What's 7 plus 3?
10.
8 plus 2?
10.
9 plus 1?
10.
10 plus 0?
10.
Yeah, but it's like all the answers 10, but it was 4 different questions. So that's 4 different routes to get to the answer that you want, which could be success or whatever.
Yeah. That's a good analogy. Yeah,
it is. Like that just like lives like proper rent free in my head. And I feel like since I started taking stuff on like that on board, I feel like there's a lot less pressure on me now, like from myself. Kind of thing.
To be fair, lad, I think like a lot of the people who are like 5 a.m. people and fucking the most nutritious breakfast ever, like they go and fucking catch the cow or something in the morning, like, do you know what I mean? Start chopping it up. The most nutritious bit, like. But no, like I think a lot of people, like obviously a lot of people who actually do this shit and they're like extremely successful, but then you might have like, I don't know, fucking traders in America who wake up, have a line, lad, and get on the computer, fucking make you know what I mean, 20 grand in an hour. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, they're still minted, they're still doing well or whatever, but it's not exactly like in a healthy way or whatever, but...
No, it's not. It's not.
But whatever works for that person, like, you know what I mean? As long as it's something that you can do, like, over a long period of time and not just, like, burn out with it.
Yeah, it's about being sustainable, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
So, like what I was saying before, I went to the gym for 7 days straight and done it for like 2 months because I couldn't keep it up. When people do a bodybuilding show, first one came to mind, and you do a hard cut before it, so you try and do it, but it's only sustainable for so long. And that's what it is. If you can't wake up at 5 o'clock every day, wake up at 6 or wake up at 7, just make sure that you are sustainable. If you're not enjoying something, you can't keep that sustained, so you got to find it.
Yeah, I think as well, like, I watch... You're on to Chris Williamson, the podcast? Yeah, you were obviously, yeah. Yes. Stupid question. Yes. Stupid question. Yeah. But yeah, so Chris Williamson, I listen to loads of him, but he talks about like little, even like tiny little like habits that you can add in that you know that there's not going to be a big barrier in front of, you know, so like fucking making your own bed, like drinking a glass of water, like in the morning, whatever it is, just tiny little things that you can, it's like proving to yourself you can do it, and then the little habits build up then and become like bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? It might go from like making your own bed to like working out like an hour a day. You know what I mean? Like, and then it just becomes yeah,
it's like I always remember a book that I read, and it must be about that thick. It's not a much, but it's called Make Your Bed. And for the love of God, I can't remember most things that I read in the book, but I remember snippets. And the one thing I remember from him was the line of, make your bed in the morning because then you've achieved the first accomplishment of the day. And if you don't achieve anything else for the rest of the day, you've got a nice bed to get into at night. And when I read it, I was like, oh my God. So I know like everyone should do it, but when I woke up, I was like, I've got to make me bed. Because then that's my first thing. What's next? Oh, I need to drink a litre of water now because I want to get my organs going. And then that should become the normal then.
But it sounds so stupid, but like it is when you're doing like little things like that, it's like as soon as you say like you fail something, like say you don't make your bed, it's like so psychologically in your head, it's like you fucking failed at the first hurdle. You couldn't even do that. You know what I mean? And then you're gonna have that in your head for the rest of the day. Then it's like, fuck me, I can't do that. I can't do this. Can't do that. Which is obviously not true, but you've already set off that trigger in your head.
Because when I looked at it, I thought if I can do this tiny thing and do a couple of more tiny things throughout the day, why can't I do this big chunk that I want to achieve? Because I've already had a good run up to the day.
You might have like a big fucking like work block like in the evening, and like just how you compound little like habits throughout the day could make you in a better headspace for doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be.
Rather than like your day kind of just going to shit and being a bit everywhere, and then by the time it comes to that, you're like, fuck me. Like, my head's kind of fell off here already before I've started. You know what I mean?
One thing that I noticed as well is that because I'm now going down the entrepreneurship, self-employed, that I know like the sky's the limit. But when I was in like older jobs where that was my job, so I woke up and that's where I got my money, I felt like I was so much more unmotivated to do anything that was productive for myself because I had no progress in them jobs.
That's so true.
I felt like because they could take me nowhere, I didn't have anywhere to go, and it made me like a lazy bastard. Do you get that?
No, 100%. But also it's like an energy thing, isn't it? Like if you're putting energy into something that you don't kind of actually want to do or you don't want to be there type thing, it's like it drains you even more. You know what I mean? Like people say like, oh, if you do what you love, you don't work and don't ever work an hour in the day or whatever. The saying is, totally butchered that, but sort of along them lines. But like, yeah, it's so true though. Like if you're doing something that you enjoy, time just goes so much quicker. You know what I mean? And then it's like, so it's definitely an energy thing, but that is also the case because you think that you can't make a difference to your kind of scenario, or you're just like, you've got that safety cushion of that job anyway. You're going to have that income every week or month, whatever, like regardless. So you're just like, oh, it doesn't really matter. Whereas if it's like, it's all or fucking nothing on this thing, then it's like you know what I mean? I can't really like sack it off, or you know what I mean? It's like putting the pressure on yourself, but like in a healthy way to kind of push things forward. And that's why I'm a little bit worried about like my situation, to be fair, because like I'm like, you know, it probably wouldn't be you know, wouldn't be the right thing to do to quit this job now when I haven't got like a bunch of clients. But then it's like people always say to go all in on the one thing you want to do. You know what I mean?
That's more level-headed thinking though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you could have them clients come in and you could have them for how long, but where people like, you got to go all in, but you've got to then think of the bigger picture.
Yeah.
I might have 10 clients there, but I've offered it for free.
Yeah.
Like, I've still got to have money to come in. So, like, my idea is, with the coaching to hopefully be the income next, is that I get 5 or 6 clients that I know they're going to be with me for at least a good period.
Yeah.
Drop down one day in my job out of the 5, and then get 5 or 6 more, and then drop down another day. So you've got to like balance it that way.
Do you have that option? Yeah.
I don't know. I know I can do part-time and I can do bank work, so I can like, you can ring me should we need you, but I don't often go down to 4 than 3 than 2 than 1.
But your boss will find out when it comes to it, lad.
Yeah, I think she will. Yeah. I think I'm quite liking my job, so I might get away with it.
Yeah. And I think as well, to be fair, like, people, most of the time, people want to see others do well, you know what I mean? If they're doing something for themselves, and like, they know you're a good person, like everyone in my work, they know exactly what's going on. They know that I'm trying to get out of there and do my own thing, and they're like dead supportive about it. They're just like, yeah, like, oh, how's it going? Or I'll speak to so-and-so, like, they might be interested about being a client, And it's like, it's just nice, you know what I mean? Because people are trying to actually want to see you win, you get me? So it's like a good kind of environment.
Is there any ways or any things that you've kind of have, like, it's a non-negotiable that you can't do anymore to be able to help yourself win?
That you can't.
Yeah, so like mine was like going out. I feel like I had to cut out going out. Not because I didn't enjoy it anymore. Yeah. But the lack of productivity that I had after it.
Yeah. To be honest, like, it wasn't, for me, it's obviously a productivity thing, but with the going out, but it was more like just how I felt mentally, you know what I mean? Like, the hangovers, like, it was like, sometimes it'd be like, obviously just feeling like dead nauseous all day and stuff, and like your stomach's like everywhere, but it was more like how I felt in my head. Like, I just felt foggy. Even say I went out on the Saturday, even like Monday, Tuesday, I'd still feel like foggy, and my head just weren't there. Yeah. And I'd go to the gym, obviously wearing a strong, like, and I just like, me, I was just like somewhere else, and it was just like not like a good kind of healthy space to be in. And you know, like, I think if you do it in what's the word I'm looking for, like, not all the time, like in periods, you know what I mean? Like you're sound, but if you're doing it all the time, it just has like a massive like effect on your mental, like, and obviously your physical and stuff, like your progress in the gym, like just how you feel about yourself, energy wise and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm the same as you with the going out thing. That's like kind of one of my, not like non-negotiables, but I'd say like that's something when I'm like, I've got to limit it. Like, I've got to be like, stick to say once a month, or like say if there's like two.
Oh. He's got a little FaceTime on the Snapchat. Yeah, that's right.
Just getting in on the podcast. Love it. What was I going to say? What was I saying then? Yeah, so rather than like say going out like fucking every weekend, like I've been there like twice a weekend and that, like fucking every bank holidays, it'd be like, yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck me, looking back now, I'm like, Jesus Christ, you're fucked. But like, and it's like going off it on a tangent there as well. I think when I was going out every weekend, I was escaping, like something about it was like an escape, you get me? Yeah. Now it's more of just like I'm doing it for fun. Like, you know what I mean? I might have a few drinks, see my boys, like whatever. But then it was like, I wasn't even that arsed about going out, didn't even enjoy it that much. But it was like, I was doing it to numb myself with that alcohol and then whatever, and then it was like just having this escape from my life because I hated it so much, whether it was like a job, whether like my relationship wasn't like doing the best, whatever. It'd be like, let me get away from this situation for like a few hours, whatever, the night where I can just be like, fuck it, you know what I mean? And I think like that's kind of the cycle a lot of people are stuck in. Like, if you try and focus on something I said like the other week, I think to Millie it was or something, and it was like, if you try and focus on your life your life day to day, and like not the highlights, if you try and make your, like Chris Williamson said something about like your Tuesday. If you enjoy your Tuesday and it's like you have a fairly enjoyable life, then you're going to be in a good position. Where if you kind of try to look for highlights in everything, you always got to be looking forward to something. There's always got to be a holiday. There's always got to be a night out. There's always got to be this and that. Like, you're never going to be happy like across your baseline, you know what I mean, your day to day. But like, if you try and create a life in which you don't have to escape from, that's the best kind of situation you can be in. And so I went from like trying to escape every weekend to now kind of, not that my life's amazing day to day, but I'm working on getting it to a point where like there's like nothing to escape, like, you know what I mean? I'm just happy on a day to day. I can go on holiday, whatever, like that's great, and it can be a highlight, but it's not like I have to get away from the position that I'm in. And I think I see that in like a lot of people just kind of needing to get away. And the reason I see it is because I was there for like years, you know what I mean? Like I was doing that, like just like I'd get calls like on a Friday afternoon after work, and it's like, lad, are you coming out? To be like, yeah, obviously. Like, it wasn't even a question. Like, I'd have people ring me and like they just know what I was gonna say. You know what I mean? It'd be like, yeah, always. And it just like, looking back now, I'm just like, if only I'd kind of realised that in myself earlier, I'd be like in a different position. But then I also thank myself for actually realising it.
Yes, that's the main part.
And I'm not like, you know, mid-30s or 40 being like, hang on a minute, like, why am I still trying to bevy all the time? You know what I mean? And I definitely don't think like alcohol's like the fucking devil, you get me? But the amount like people consume it or they like normalise it, like it's a full-on addiction, you know what I mean?
It is.
But like people fully normalise it because it makes them feel better about themselves. Yeah. Because they do it all the time. It's like, nah, like, all my mates do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or all my mates do it, or all my bed and mates do it. So, like, it's not even like an issue type thing. It's just standard.
Yeah, because like where you're saying, oh yeah, all my mates do it. But if you said that to like a bit of an older generation or someone else that might not get it, and you went, all my mates do it. Yeah. And they go, well, what do they do? If you go one or two ways, so if you went alcohol or drugs, it's two completely different answers, but both of them get you done in. Yeah. Both of them ruin you mentally. Yeah. And it's like, one is sold in a shop and one's illegal. Yeah. This one's worse than that, but we could have the exact same results from others. Yeah. I mean, from themselves.
No, that's facts, yeah. Bro, like, I can't, like, can't describe it, like, how it kind of just fucks you up and how normal it's been made, you know what I mean? And then obviously you've got like the whole of a discussion of like the pressure from people, or like the joke that you get from someone, like, oh, sorry, you're not drinking, oh, sorry about you, you know what I mean? Like, it's like always to be expected. Like, at this point, you just kind of got to be like, yeah, like it is what it is.
Yeah,
you know
because
what I mean?
like I went to a party about 2 weeks ago, something like that, house party for one of my mates' birthdays, and obviously I weren't drinking, so I took a crate of Dr. Peppers with me. Everyone was bevy. But because everyone was there, everyone was a bit tipsy, a bit drunk, everyone looked like they were having a proper laugh, and I'm just there like socially awkward, wanting to get off after like an hour. And I'm just like, do I just have a bevy? But I'm like, no, because I want to go at least a year without drinking from Easter to next Easter.
Have you done it so far?
So far, yeah.
Really? Yeah. That's right, lad. Nice.
I've only drunk like 5 times in like 2 years or something like that.
Fucking hell. Sorry about you, lad.
Sorry, lad. I'm not drinking you, lad. I'm on my waters. But that was like a point where I was like, do I just get a bevy? Yeah. Do I just drink and just join in because I feel like I'm missing out? But I didn't need to. And I was there for like 4 more hours. Yeah. But it's like, even though no one was saying it to me and everyone knew I didn't drink, because of all the times where you go through and people are like, oh, you're not having a bevy, or look at you, or whatever, it still sits with me personally.
It's in your own head, isn't it?
It's like I've got to like join in here. I've got to like take part or something.
Yeah, and it's like as well though, like you're saying, oh, like what are they thinking? Like what are they saying like to the mate or something? Like what they might be sitting there going, oh yeah, well, so I'm not drinking a bit weird, that ain't it, or whatever. Like someone have a shot or this and that. But no, I think once you get past that like barrier of like you're making decisions for yourself for a good reason, then you know you can go forward with it like in a healthy way as well, and you can just like limit the things that you know are like pulling you back a little bit. But yeah, it's a weird conversation because like I say, it's so normal. It's like you don't want to fucking demonize it, but also you don't want to put it in like a positive light because neither are right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is one of them. Like I think I've reached the point with it now where I don't try and persuade people not to do it anymore because I've saw the positive impact.
Yeah.
I just see people as now like, you're an adult, you can make your own decisions, you know my views on it.
Yeah.
But if you still want to go out, by all means, go out. So if like my girlfriend came to me and she went, I'm going out with the girls, I'd be like, go ahead, go and have fun, go and have a laugh, don't get too drunk.
Yeah. No,
stuff
exactly.
like that.
Yeah.
It's I feel like it's got to be a point that drinking has been a thing for hundreds of years, but people need to realise it themselves.
Yeah.
Like what we've done. So I don't do anymore because I just don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
But you don't do it anymore to an extent that you still know that you can balance it. Like what we were talking about before, and you can still fit it in, but you might not feel as pressured or feel as, don't know, maybe vulnerable in a way that you have to say yes, and then you are an easy yes person to go to.
Yeah.
That kind of thing that people go, well, that's Tom anyway, just see what he says, but you might say no.
Yeah, that's like, kind of the situation now. Yeah. It's like, there's a good chance that he's not drinking, but like, if he is, like, if I said, oh yeah, I'll have like a drink or I'll have a shot or whatever, like, the boys would just be like, oh, fucking hell, fair enough, like, go ahead, you know what I mean? Whereas it was like, in the past, it was like, it took a while to kind of change that, you know, baseline, you know what I mean? Of like them saying, oh, you know, the very first time you say no, it's like, whoa, what the fuck? Why? What's the reason? Like, you must be on medication, or like there must be some heavy reason. You must be up at 5 a.m. or something. You know what I mean? But it's like, now it's like, no, just like normal. You know what I mean? It's like, fair enough.
Yeah, I think that'd be the better way to go about it, and not try and like demonize it, but just to make it more socially acceptable to people to go, I'm not drinking tonight. All right, tonight.
Yeah.
Instead of why.
Yeah, it's
I don't need to explain myself why I'm not. I just don't want to.
It's like, fucking hell, like, I don't even want the drugs thing. I don't know if it's like filtered on the podcast or whatever.
God, bro,
it's like, I'd say. If someone said like, fucking, I don't know, like, do you want a line or something? You said no. You would be like, fuck the fuck, like, why? Like, fucking hell. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't think you would anyway. You'll be like on your case, like, oh, please do something, you got to.
Yeah, I think that comes down then to the person as well. Both of them, drinks and drugs, can both come down to the group of people that you're with. But like from the times people have ever said to me, oh lad, I've got a bag there, I don't want any. Kind of thing. People are like, all right, so probably in their head, like, thank God he said no because I've got more. But like, but it's like, I feel like people are now starting to go into the right direction from what it looks like anyway, of accepting that not everyone's going to drink, or not everyone's going to drink as much. Or people are going to go home earlier. They want to go out earlier to get home earlier. But
I think we've noticed that though, because I've got the same view as you, and like it's getting a bit better. But I think that's because everyone around us is getting older as well and more mature. So like, we don't know what like the 19, 20-year-olds are doing or how they see it or whatever. The people around us are like more our age or whatever, might be a bit younger, a bit older. But we kind of know that everyone's kind of maturing a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what
definitely,
I mean?
yeah.
Especially in our like own groups. Obviously, you know my group, I know yours to an extent. So it's like, we know what people are like and what kind of level they're at, like, in terms of how they like view going out and like, you know what I mean? How mature they are with it or whatever. But yeah, like it's been what like up there. I'd say top 3 things that like I've changed, that have made the biggest impact, you know what I mean, on like mental health, like just productivity or just generally how I feel and myself. It's been massive kind of realizing that. And obviously like it wasn't wasn't easy to like stop that or like do it less or whatever, because it was such a like habit just like ingrained into me.
It's bad British culture, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Especially like I think like in Liverpool is like pretty fucking big, isn't it? Like it's not big. Not like fucking Ireland levels or some shit, but it's like it is pretty up there with like the cultural standard to drink. And I think as well, like to go off topic again, you know, the way everyone's moved to Dubai, and like their culture, the fact obviously people have a bevy and stuff, but a lot of them like don't drink, don't do drugs, and it's like no, that's just not. And it's like all the successful people are moving there, and you kind of put two and two together, and you're like, it's kind of it's making a bit of sense.
I've never thought about it like that, to be honest.
Yeah, but like because it's like a cultural thing, like an environment where they know it's way more acceptable, probably more acceptable than the other side to say no, you know what I mean, or to be like, oh, I don't drink, whatever. And it's like, yeah, sound.
I mean, that is very true. That's actually probably blown my mind that about the Dubai thing, you know. I've never thought about it like that.
No, it's facts though, like, yeah. Other than like all the money and like, fucking hell, literal millionaires just on every fucking corner. But like, yeah.
I'm going to start becoming roommates with like Mike Thurston or something like that. However you say his name.
Lad. Mike Thurston, yeah, is he natural?
Yeah, get me on your podcast. How long have we been running for now? It's
1 hour 30.
1 hour 30. To be honest, we've only got 2 more things left.
Yeah,
on your thing. So one is future plans and where do you want to take your business and career?
Oh God, okay. These are my things as well, innit?
Yeah.
Professional myself, yeah. So the plans are, in a nutshell, so grow the PT business to a point where I'm not working the other job. So just like full-time PT, like I was saying before, about how much I enjoy it. If I enjoy it a bunch, I'm just going to keep doing that, build the clients up over time, obviously client retention, keeping them for as long as I can, build the relationships, kind of learn like the fundamentals of like one-to-one PT and like how people, like the struggles that people have and stuff like that, and how to go about getting around that. So it's definitely going to be like, going to go all in on the PT thing. After that, it's going to be, like I say, moving online a little bit as much as I can, like just here and there, depending on kind of how that goes. Other than that, it's just going to be keeping on top of like my habits and making sure I'm in a good mental space. You know, as far as training goes, it's going to be pretty much the same kind of approach to it, like 4 or 5 times a week. Still like strength training, like, you know, hypertrophy, stuff like that. Maybe down the line, it'll be like a bit of like more fitness related stuff, like, you know, jogs and cardio and like Hydrox or you know, stuff like that.
Hybrid training?
Hydrox, it's like...
Hydrox, what's that?
It's like, I think I've got that right, I'm not sure I've butchered it, but it's like similar to CrossFit.
Okay,
you kind of mix like strength and cardio, like, you know, different routines, stuff like that. So I might kind of switch up and try new things. But yeah, other than that, it's going to be like the business and trying to like build that up, and also learning how to run a business, like, you know what I mean? That's going to be massive, and not just like getting paid by a month or whatever by your employer. Like, it's learning how to actually run one yourself and how to do it like effectively and time efficient as well and all that. So that's going to be me for like, I'd say the next year, 18 months at least, just doing that and kind of putting my name out there, like socials. I kind of want to grow them. Maybe YouTube at a chance. I maybe jump back on TikTok. I kind of deleted it because I just don't like scrolling on it. It just kind of like mentally kind of fucks with me for some reason. But yeah, I might just download TikTok again purely just to post my content, get it out to more people, maybe translates to followers and maybe translates to more clients, stuff like that. So that's just going to be the plan for the next year, really.
Fair enough.
In terms of like business and like... career goals or whatever. Yeah,
I rate that. Like, it sounds like we're gonna be quite on the same wavelength.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I want to do this, but I want to do the coaching, and I do want to go from the online coaching into the PT part.
Yeah,
and then phase back into the online coaching. Over a period of time, but I feel like we're
I didn't realise that you actually plan to do one-to-ones as well. Yeah, in the future.
Yeah, so I want to just for now get the online part going, and then just see if I can get results with people. And I've said to them, it is for free, so I will make mistakes, but it is a free service, so just bear with me, kind of thing.
Yeah,
but if I get results with people, then obviously I can go, this is the way I have done. Now I want to start coaching people in person, because I've always wanted to do that part more, because it's like we were saying before, you get to know them and stuff, like they open up more.
Yeah, 100%.
You get to actually know them as a person, you get to see them actually grow, however many days a week you see them, say just a couple of pictures online and a questionnaire. But I do want to do that myself. Can't wait to talk to you again in 18 months.
So with the podcast and that as well, it's just going to be like grow as much as you can, different type of guests.
I actually want to be, obviously everyone wants to be the top, but I want to be like arguably one of the best in the UK kind of thing.
Yeah. You've got the fucking setup, lad. Setup's better, so...
Yeah, well, Joe was dissing me stands before, telling me to get boom arms. Nah, that is the next step, lad, don't worry. But I have got it, lads, and a lot's gone into it. And I am going to take it serious, because imagine I just went... I can't be arsed doing this now, lads.
You just fucking built this heavy setup and you just lash it,
Yeah, literally.
Now, what about in terms of like guests and that? Like, I know obviously a couple of people that we both know that you're getting on, but like, are you going to get like any left-wing people in, like people who are just got like a different approach to things and that, or like...
I'd like to get controversial people on, just to hear their views. It doesn't mean I'm going to agree with them and all that, and doesn't mean I'm going to try and put them in a good light or a bad light. I would like to get names on here kind of thing, but also that fit with the podcast as well. So if I could get anyone in the world, I'm not going to get Donald Trump on. Like I know it would never happen, but like someone like that extreme, I'd never do that. So, but essentially I'm trying to be like your Joe Rogan's, because he's popular. He's done really well. But then like your Stephen Bartlett, with a hint of Chris Williamson, like where you can just mix things in and all that, but also put out positive messages, but allow people to also have a bit of freedom of speech. Where they might not feel like they've been muted and stuff like that, where they can't speak. So I don't know, it just depends on to see where time goes and all that. But it's 2023, I don't want to get cancelled.
I think you'll probably find your own like little niche that you prefer over anything else, you know what I mean? Like with Stephen Bartlett, like he just goes in deep on like, you know, the mental side, like childhood, like off the bat, first question, why you like this? Oh, you know what I mean? I got battered when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like different stuff like that. And then it's obviously Joe Rogan is just like dead chill, but they go like deep talks of like their own views on different stuff. But like you'll probably find your own thing, what you prefer, and then just go kind of all in on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to get to, is it the 20 episodes mark that Chris Williamson said?
Everyone quits.
Everyone
before
quits.
20 episodes.
I want to make that my goal first, get 20 in. I think at the minute I've got 12 bookings before the end of the year.
Oh, nice.
So most of the way there for doing them all. And then I think after that, I've probably found me a little groove and stuff. And then just go from there and just build and build. Yeah,
I was going to say, there'll probably be a point where like it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm hitting that goal, them numbers, whatever. It will just be like, I'm flowing. Like it's a flow state in it. And then once you're in the flow state, it's going to be like the numbers are going to go up regardless or whatever. And then the guests get a bit like juicier or whatever. But thanks for having me on, lads.
No worries.
It's fucking nerve-wracking as fuck, like. But
last one that you wrote, what advice would you give people who are stuck? That was like your little goodbye message.
Yeah. Okay, so advice for people who are stuck, like, take responsibility for yourself. Like, I think that I, like, did a lot, like, the last few years, like, say, like, early 20s, late teens, and that was, like, just victim mentality. Like, I feel like shit, like whatever. I've been through a breakup and that's why I feel like this. This person has got like this family or like these mates, that's why they're doing well. Like they've got it better off than I have because of this and that, all these little things. And it's like, I think over the past like year, definitely I've started to be like, right, if I want something, I've got to take responsibility myself. I've got to do the thing. Like also again, procrastination, like with that PT course thing, it was like, oh, can I do it? Like, am I good enough? All these things. It was like, just do it. Like, just do the course, get in the gym, start training people, and like, even if like you shit at first, like over time you'll get better. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. There's no beating around the bush. There's no other way than doing the thing, like whatever it might be. You know what I mean? So I think that's like my biggest thing. And again, also looking at the things outside of like work related stuff, like relationships and like drinking habits, like your social circle, all of that. Like, just try and get yourself in a position where you've got the right people around you, where you're not going out and sabotaging yourself every weekend or whatever it is, and you're kind of focusing more on what you want to do in your future. And also, if you've got a job that you hate and you're still at home so you don't have to pay rent, fucking leave it now, like literally tomorrow, because like, I'm sure your mum and dad or whoever you live with will be okay with you, because you know what I mean, for a while, to just be like, get yourself on a new path. So like I say, like, do not kind of stay anywhere where you know deep down you don't belong, and like just fucking chase what you want to do. Just do the work, chase that thing, and you'll feel better about yourself over time. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what I could say.
That was like the podcast summed up in like a minute. That was literally everything. But basically what you're saying there is what you said on that. Confidence and motivation comes from action.
Yeah. That's it. Exactly.
That's it.
That's all I can say, lad.
That's the title of this podcast. But nah, Tom, lad, really appreciate for you coming on, lad.
I appreciate you inviting me, lad.
You've been absolutely boss. And we're going to do a message to the camera. Anything that you want of Tom, his links are going to be in the comments of Instagram and stuff like that. Or if you're on YouTube, it's going to be in the comment section there. So if you want to follow him and stuff like that after this video comes out, then please do, because he's boss.
Nice one, lad. Appreciate it, my guy.
All good. Right.
Sweet.
Call it there. Just press both of them at the same time, lad.